You're good, Wally. You looking good? Feeling good?
Yeah, you have to try and get her better side.
We'll have a little chat now.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so we're here with Molly, who's about to clean her arse.
Lovely.
Lovely. And this is my good friend Rowan Sherlock.
Yellow.
And I first heard about Rowan when, unfortunately, we lost your lovely fiddle.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that story?
Yep. I was here on tour with my band, aptly named Newfoundland.
Yeah.
We were here, I think it was May of 2017. We were here for a short tour. I think it was only 10 days.
Okay.
We did 12 gigs in 10 days across the island.
Right.
And the last day of the tour, we flew back here from Deer Lake, I think.
Okay.
Back to St. John's, and we had our final gig, which was in O'Reilly's.
Right.
Final night. And we had a friend of ours pick us up from the airport and put all the gear into the back of her rig, and went to a friend's house, had a quick shower, got changed, get ready for the gig, got outside, and somebody had broken into the back of her truck, smashed in the windows, and took my violin, took all of her camera equipment, and took one of the boys' guitars, which he had as a rental from a shop back home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the tour, so all that was gone. So obviously that was a bit of a nightmare.
That sucks.
Yeah, because I took.
And unfortunately, it's been something that's been happening in St. John's. You hear a lot of break-ins in cars downtown.
Yeah, and you know, people are kind of saying it's unfortunate to happen here and all that because the people here are genuinely so nice.
Yeah.
But you know, it could have happened anywhere.
Totally. Yeah.
It just happened to be here at the time. So I stayed here for an extra couple of days. We did the gig that night. I can't remember who it was. Somebody gave me a loan of a fiddle for that gig that night, which is really nice of them.
Right. And as far as I know, the fiddle has still
nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen. And this was how many years ago?
That was 2017.
2017. So
we're getting close to 2 years now
getting
since
close
it's
to
gone.
2 years. Yeah.
Darcy Broderick, that's who gave me. He gave me his fiddle that night for the gig, which is very nice. And I've kept in contact with Darcy as well. So I stayed here for an extra couple of days to work with the police over here and working on how to get it back, whatever. The guys went home the next day. They flew back home. And then when I got home, I applied for a work visa to come back here, which I got approved for pretty quick.
Right.
So I think it was within 3 or 4 weeks of getting home, I actually moved over here.
Cool. So I hear that story and I have a couple questions.
Yes.
My first question would be, why, if you go to a tour in a place and your beloved instrument gets stolen in that place, do you say, I think I want to move to this place?
I think I said
what was it about here?
I think I said it maybe the first or second day of being here.
Okay.
Just driving around Newfoundland, driving around the island. I can't remember where it was we'd got to. I think it might have been when we were going to Fogo. And we got to Fogo. We played in Tilting on Fogo Island.
Okay.
And when we were crossing over, I was just kind of looking around, and after chatting to all the people and meeting such lovely people over here, I was like, I could see myself living here. I could settle here. More so than I ever felt actually back home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just
Cool.
something about it that kind of, I bonded very much.
A bit of everything. The
bit of
views,
everything.
the people, the music.
Everything. The scenery. Surprisingly, I like the weather here, despite the fact that it's...
Yeah, today we're in the midst of a freezing rain snowstorm out there.
It's pretty nasty, but it's fun to look at.
Yeah. Well, these guys love it.
I
think I like the snow a lot more since having huskies.
Yeah, I'd say. I have 2 cats at home. I like to settle in at home with the cats. It's lovely. So I think that's what did it for me.
So my other question that occurred in this story is the name of the band Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Nobody from the band are from Newfoundland. All Irish.
All Irish.
So how did the name come about?
Well, the band itself has been on the go for probably 8, 9, maybe 10 years with various members.
Okay.
They were always under the name of Newfoundland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so back then they were trying to find some sort of a historical name to kind of give the band, something to represent just the things that they believe in, and they realised so many people from Ireland had come here, especially from where I'm from Waterford.
Right, yeah.
So many people came here for fishing.
Yeah.
So they wanted to kind of pay homage to that,
right,
and call the band Newfoundland. They never really thought about using that as kind of a stepping stone to actually come over here on tour.
Right, right.
Luckily, it worked pretty well. So
Very
I was
well,
saying
yeah.
they should rename the band like Australia or something.
So you can tour down there.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Keep
so the
changing.
reaction was pretty good here.
Oh
to the
yeah,
name.
they loved that. They loved it. So they came over, and the first tour we did was wicked.
And did you get a lot of people asking you?
Yeah, at every single show. Yeah,
right.
Every show. So actually, the guys came back in August of 2018 for another tour. We did a 2-week tour, and I joined them for the 2 weeks.
Right.
Played some amazing shows. We got to do The Gathering with
Sean
Jumper.
Yeah.
Invited us up, and we played that.
That's where, Burgeo?
And that is up around, not Burgeo, other side, north.
Birmingham?
I really can't remember for the life of me. I remember it took me what seemed like about 2 weeks to drive there from
home. Oh, okay.
Because we were in Corner Brook the night before, and I drove from Corner Brook up there. Where north was it?
I've heard a lot about the glamping.
Oh yeah. There. Now we were lucky. We actually, there was somebody in the community gave us their house.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's even fancier glamping. It's real life house.
Totally. Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Yeah, that was amazing. It was an amazing tour. It was great to see the guys again and just get to gig with them again. Sad to see them go home again.
Right.
But I'm sure they're definitely going to be back at some stage. So they're planning the next tour.
And now that you're here, what have you been doing?
I'm teaching
in our community.
Yeah, I'm teaching music full time at Music Collection.
Okay.
Out on the Torbury Road and at Mount Pearl as well.
Oh, in both locations.
Yeah, both spots. So I'm teaching out there Monday to Friday. Teaching fiddle, piano, and a bit of guitar and ukulele.
Right.
Love it. My employers have been fantastic. They've been very supportive of me being here.
And Music Collection has been around for
they celebrated their 30th anniversary recently.
Oh, cool.
So they've been around that long. So it's a nice family-run business.
Yeah.
I believe it used to be Norris Music back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before
that.
the Parsons then bought it.
I bought one of my first guitars from Norris Music.
There you go.
It used to be in Mount Pearl.
I actually bought a violin recently which had the original receipts from Norris Music.
Oh, cool.
Still in the fiddle case.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
They used to have, I don't know how it happened, but they used to have quite nice Gretsch guitars at Norris Music.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Like really high-end Gretsch guitars, and they were in a little glass case. There's only 2 or 3 of them because it was quite a small store.
Yeah, of course.
But I had never really played a real Gretsch before.
Yeah.
At Norris Music.
Oh, hello.
Molly likes Gretsch, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So teaching now full time.
Yeah. And now it's interesting because I followed your story from the fiddle to the band, and like I've heard you play in many groups around town.
Yeah.
But I didn't really realize that you come from a classical background.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I see you as a fiddler, not a violinist.
No, not at all. I even don't see myself as a fiddler as much.
Yeah.
Oh, Molly.
Molly sees you as a fiddler, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, no, I was classically trained since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Went through the classical thing in university as well. Did my BA in classical violin performance.
Oh, okay.
Went on then to do an MA in music composition. But I spent my entire life playing with orchestras and youth symphony orchestras and.
Right. Have you seen the symphony here?
Yeah, I have.
What do you think?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
I have a bunch of friends that play in the symphony.
Yeah. I'm actually looking to write a new piece of music and submit it to the NSO.
Oh.
Hopefully to see if they can actually get it performed for me or get it commissioned if I can.
And another thing we were chatting about a little bit recently was your citizenship and residency.
Yeah.
Do you want to chat a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure.
Seems exciting.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So recently,
it's a big thing, but I was excited by the fact that you had been. Am I getting this right? That you have been invited?
Yeah, I've actually been invited by the government of Newfoundland to become a permanent resident.
Right.
Of Canada, which obviously is very nice.
Yeah. And what does that do for the whole residency process?
Speeds up the entire process.
Oh, okay.
The usual process takes about 15 to 18 months, which is a long time waiting. But this speeds it up, so it should only take me 4 months, hopefully. My final applications went through recently. So hopefully come April or May, I'll be permanent resident of Canada.
Right. And how will that change what you're doing here?
It changes a lot of things. If down the line I want to apply for a mortgage, if I want to lease out a car, any of that stuff, because all that stuff I can't really do at the minute.
Right.
Because people say, well, we can't give you these kind of things because we're unsure of whether you're going to be sent back home again.
I see, right.
You know? So that should work in my favour,
right?
Hopefully. Also, if I do get when I do get my permanent residency, I'm considering applying for a PhD at MUN in music composition. They have a really nice PhD in ethnomusicology, with the crossovers between traditional Irish music and traditional Newfoundland music.
Wow.
Which sounds like something right down my
alley.
Right
up your alley. Yeah.
So I'd consider doing that. So yeah, so unfortunately you're going to be stuck with me.
Yeah, I love it. So when I was thinking about what tune we could play here, I thought about the name of the band Newfoundland and how we were chatting about how all you guys are not from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So we went through this tune called
The Newfoundland Reel.
The Newfoundland Reel. And what's really interesting about this tune is it's as far as my history could tell, it's been written by a man named Smiley Bates.
Yeah.
And Smiley Bates, I got introduced to through my father, because my dad loves that kind of super, depressing country music. That old Hank Williams Sr., like all those heart-wrenching songs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I knew Smiley Bates. But I was very curious when I came across a record called Pickin' on the Flat Top.
Mm-hmm.
And it had Turkey in the Straw, and it had the Wildwood Flower, and some, excuse me, some bluegrass numbers on there. But I got really intrigued when I saw the Newfoundland Reel.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
So I learned the Newfoundland Reel and started playing it around and asking people, if they knew it and what it was. And not a lot of people seem to know the song here in Newfoundland.
Yeah, that's surprising.
So I did a little bit more research, and it turns out that it's actually written by Smiley Bates.
Okay.
Now, Smiley's from Ontario.
There you go.
And for some reason, his career really took off in Newfoundland and the Maritimes.
Yeah.
So he spent a lot of time touring and playing here, and I guess this was more inspired by Newfoundland than written by a Newfoundlander.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I figured the Newfoundland band, all from Ireland, why don't we play the Newfoundland Reel?
Written by a guy not from Newfoundland.
Written by a guy from
Makes
Ontario.
perfect sense.
So here we go, the Newfoundland Reel.